Hello, Leo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Leo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free. These readings don't cost anything. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Leo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. All right, Four of Pentacles. You're somebody who generally you like excitement, I think. You like to be kind of out in the world doing things, right? I feel like you like to challenge yourself. You like to have new experiences. You like to socialize. I feel like right now you're kind of, you're staying inside a little bit more, okay? It seems like it's kind of the season. I feel like you're working on something very time-consuming. Okay, I think you're trying to really establish some good habits. I wonder if there's been a delay in your life. I feel like you've been working on something and it's kind of like, it's not time to go and celebrate yet, but there's really not a whole lot else you can do in order to further the progress. So I kind of feel like we're biding time a little bit. Let's put this card into a little bit of context. I feel like you have a very good foundation that you've built, and now we're sort of, it's like you've tilled the soil, you've planted the seed, and now it's just like, I got to consistently water the thing. I've got to just make sure that no harm comes to it, and it's going to grow when it's ready, you know? So let's see what we're doing here and how this energy is moving forward, okay? We're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread. We've got a Queen of Swords, a Five of Wands, a Knight of Swords. We've got the Fool, and we've got the Hierophant. Very good. The Fool becoming the Hierophant, right? And in a way, it kind of seems like, you know, the future that we want will be there, and we're very confident that it's going to come. I think right now, it's just a matter of let's enjoy the meanwhile. Let's enjoy the time we have now while we're waiting for this thing to grow further. It's almost like we're waiting for our breakthrough, or we're waiting for almost like graduation day. Right? We're almost waiting for the result of all of our work to finally show up in a particular moment, I think, of triumph, right? So I think there is a goal that you have in mind. But I think right now there's been, it's almost like Spirit saying, just sort of keep doing what you're doing. Don't try to step on the gas anymore. Certainly don't slow down. Just sort of stay contained in what you're doing, but enjoy have a good time. Let go of the worries. Okay, the Fool is up here kind of dancing on top of everything. I think because it's, you know, it's like there's nothing more that we can really do except to be consistent. Okay, there's nothing extra that we need to do. It's kind of like don't undo the progress that you've already made. I think you've already established the right foundation for this thing, and now it's kind of like, it's almost like just consistency is going to need to really do its thing before this objective, before this success. Maybe it's, you know, whatever you're sort of, whatever you're trying to manifest in your life, whether it's a new job, a better job, maybe it really is, you know, some kind of an educational thing, whether it's the relationship, whether you are, you know, maybe you're trying to manifest the right teacher for you. Okay, physical or non-physical teacher, mentor kind of energy. And it might be, you know, in this case, that the teacher will appear once the student is ready. And so it's a matter of laying the groundwork, laying the foundations of what we're doing, and then kind of, you know, holding tight until that energy arrives. Okay, over on the path of the Serpent, we've got the Universe or the World card, which is definitely a card of patience, right? It's a card that says things have been delayed. So it really feels to me like you're kind of like, okay, I've done what I was supposed to do. Now, where is the thing? Where is the person? Where is the energy? Where's the job? Where's the, where's the graduation? The leveling up, sort of. So we have the Prince of Wands, we have a Magician card, and we've got the Six of Cups. So what you're waiting for is going to arrive, okay? What we have here is a Leo superpower card. It's a Prince of Wands. This card represents the Leo energy in action. So really it's about consistency. It's saying keep doing what you're doing, and the result that you're waiting for will come. It's just a matter of timing. It's just a matter of the seed has to sort of take roots. It has to sprout. It has to get roots. The shoot has to work its way up the surface. But the thing's coming, okay? So I think you're kind of feeling like, okay, there's been a delay. Things aren't happening. We start to get into a little bit of this sort of the air energy here. We start to look at it a little bit closely, and maybe the Fool and the Five of Wands are kind of the two options that you feel right now. Either the Fool says, I just scrap it and I start over. I go a different way and I start again. Okay? Or perhaps there's something more I need to do. Maybe I didn't work hard enough. Maybe I didn't do enough. So maybe I should go back to it and put more energy into it. Well, I think Spirit's saying, no, just stay consistent. Keep living the habit that you've been living. Stay in your routine, right? And everything will happen when it's meant to happen, okay? And I think it is going to happen sooner rather than later. But let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. And I know that it feels like you've been waiting a long time already. This is the mystery card, bonus card. It's going to go right here with our very own Kelly Kapoor. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this program you feel like you know what that card is, put your prediction in the comments, okay? Let's take a look around the room. We have some good major arcana energy. We have the Fool and the Hierophant, okay, which to me does represent that sort of the student becoming the master. It represents that sort of breakthrough, that leveling up of the, I think of like the spiritual evolution, right? The path that you've started. This is where we really gain what we've been needing to further our path. Okay, the Hierophant does represent a card of assistance, help, teaching, education, mentorship, and it might be that you've been waiting for the right teacher to come into your life. You've been waiting for the right energy that's going to come and sort of give you the direction, give you the guidance for what's coming next. Okay, it could be that we've been trying to get in touch with spirit guides, guardian angels, God, goddess, deity, whatever that sort of guiding entity is in your life. It could be literally a physical teacher, but to me it kind of feels like we're trying to invoke that non-physical entity that's going to guide us the rest of the way. Okay, and whether this is something that we view as being an internal waiting, it's like we're waiting for the arrival of the teacher. Okay, or it could be an external arrival, and to me it doesn't really make a difference how we perceive that. Whether we perceive it as something internal or external, as long as the teacher arrives, right? And I do think in your case it is a non-physical kind of entity that we are, and it could be that you have a history of contact with angels or non-physical entities or intelligences, and it may be that you're in need of that sort of guidance once again. Okay, but whatever you're waiting for, okay, there seems to be this universe card and this magician, right? There seems to be that we are waiting for that kind of, we're waiting for that teaching that's going to allow us to construct our reality, construct the rest of our reality, right? So with the Four of Pentacles, I feel like you've already built the foundation. And I feel like we're looking for the right information. We need the right we need the guidance either from within or from without that's going to allow us to step into that full magician energy. So, the mystery card there with I would imagine it's the Star card or perhaps the High Priestess, to show us, to give us that message, to give us that wisdom and that guidance for the next segment of your life. Okay, so we've got some good major arcana energies. We've got fire here, fire here. We've got a little bit of water at the end, which to me is the pleasure, it is the harmony, it is the coming together with what you've been waiting for. It is the wish fulfilled, okay? And so this really says that whatever you're waiting for is going to arrive. What we've got to do is figure out how to deal with the meantime, while we wait for this. Now, I don't think that we're going to be waiting long. My idea is maybe a few more days to a week or two, and you'll see signs that this thing's on its way, okay? So we've got that little bit of water. We do have our air and our air energies. And of course, we have our earth right there in the middle. And the earth is sort of the foundation that you've built, whether this is foundation of skill, foundation of knowledge, foundation of sort of practical things. Maybe this is that you have a good habit and a good routine in your life. Okay, you've done the groundwork. It's kind of like you've built the temple. Now you're waiting for the Holy Spirit to come and indwell. Right. So what Spirit is saying to you is to keep doing what you've been doing. Stay in those good habits. Stay in those good routines. Don't start tinkering with things. Don't start changing things around now. Don't stop doing what you've started doing. Don't add any new stuff to it. Just stay consistent. Stay in that routine. Okay. But what we can see here is the Queen of Swords, who is trying to detach from what we're doing. The Queen of Swords is rising above to get a bird's eye view of things. I think you're somebody who probably has a lot of past life memories. And I think you're also sort of having future life memories as well. The Queen of Swords to me is, we're trying to be detached from our desire for this fulfillment. Whatever this breakthrough is that you're waiting for, whatever the goal or the accomplishment or the arrival of something, whatever that is for you. It could be romantic, it could be the right friend, the right mentor, it could be the right opportunity, it could be a door that's opening. It could be a spiritual experience, right, that you're trying to, it could be a moment of enlightenment, it could be that nirvana or the samadhi that you're waiting for. The idea here is not to wait for it. It's contradictory, yes. The more attached we are to the outcome and the more we are focused on and worried about the outcome, right, that attachment is going to really, I think, delay things further and is going to create some kind of anxiety in us while we're supposed to be just steady as she goes with this foundation and this routine and these habits. We need to be able to detach from what we're doing. It's almost like take part of your mind and look at yourself from third-party perspective and just see what you're doing and just see how you're in this very stable and calm routine. And I think you'll be able to see that this is inevitably going to result in the manifestation that you desire. Your desired outcome will be there, but we have to sort of step back and detach from that. Okay? So in that way, the Fool kind of represents a few different things. I think the Fool is representing, hey, you kind of have to be kind of free of your concerns. The Fool's a card that really is no worries, right? Fool has no worries at all. The Fool is wandering off a cliff and just no worries, right? So it's kind of like you know that the universe is going to catch you. You know that Spirit is going to be there. I think, without having to consciously acknowledge it, you know that your consistency now is going to result in those accomplishments, the breakthrough, the fulfillment, the manifestation that you desire, okay? So the Fool has no concern at all. The Fool's just having a good time. The Fool's just doing what it does, and then when it's out of that routine, it's just having fun. It's almost like you do all of this important work, let's say during the day, the work hours, you do all this work. The Fool can clock out at the end of the day and forget that it even had a job, can just be immersed in whatever it's doing now, whether it's your pets, your plants, your people, whether it's some creative endeavor or just some recreational activity. The Fool can be fully immersed in that, right? A lot of us, we will have our 8-hour work day, we clock out, but then we're still at home thinking, oh gosh, did I remember to sign that form, or did I put the right tags on the video that I uploaded, or like, why were the views so bad yesterday, or like, what do I need to do differently, or we're so consumed with it, or did I say the wrong thing to the boss at work, or did I forget to clock out? And so it kind of is like we do forget to clock out. Because even after our designated time is done, we're unable to fully immerse ourselves in anything else. And so our pets, our plants, our people, they suffer because we're not fully there. We're there physically, mostly mentally, but there's part of us that's still back in that 8-hour chunk of time, or 12 hours, or however long you work. It's kind of worried about our performance, and we're analyzing things that we've done. So the Fool, with the Queen of Swords, is saying that, look, you're able to sort of look at things and say, okay, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I need to let go of my attachment to that. I need to let go of the worries. Okay. And in another sense, the Fool is kind of representing your options, what you feel your options are. Because we're so attached to this, it kind of feels like I've got to do something. Either I scrap it and I walk away and I do something else, or I tear this down to the ground and I start over with this foundation, right? Maybe I just sort of just get rid of that and I just start again. Or with that 5 of Wands, maybe saying, maybe I got to go back to the office and I got to do more work here. Maybe I forgot something. Maybe I didn't do something good enough. Let me do it again, but do it better. It really feels like neither of those are the way to go. Okay? Neither of those are the way to go. But between these two, it feels like there's some anxiety. Okay? It feels like the Fool is having a difficult time just immersing themselves into whatever they're doing outside of this particular thing. So there's too much attachment there, right? The Knight of Swords in the background position, I feel like this is the speed at which you can make the decisions here, okay? It feels like you had a plan, okay? We don't have a lot of air energy here today, which I think is very good. The Knight of Swords here is the idea of sort of seeing into the future and being able to kind of plot a course. That we're able to look at the goal that we have and say, okay, if I do these particular things, that goal will happen. Okay? And then what we have to do, of course, is execute that plan. So we have this step-by-step kind of thing. If I do A, B, and C, then the result will be D, E, and F, right? Yeah. And so once we are confident of that and we can execute that plan and we know that I've done A, B, and C, quality work, right? D, E, and F they're gonna happen too. And we have to trust in ourselves. We have to trust in the universe that will be, in fact, the case. It's not always gonna work that way. Some of it is left to chance. Some of it is left to other variables out there in the universe that we can't control anyway. So why bother, right? What we can do is the very best that we can do. We have to have a plan and we have to execute it to the best of our ability. Once we do that, I think we can detach ourselves from the anxiety, from the sort of energetic involvement in this, and we can be free while we await the expected results. And the Queen of Swords becomes your ability to look at it and say, I did the very best that I could. I'm doing everything to the best of my ability. Maybe we have a routine that we're showing up every day. We're doing the work. We're consistent. We're doing quality work. That's all I can really do. Right? That's all we can do. The 5 of Wands underneath the surface here. Now, I feel like you're very sensitive to other people's moods, right? Like you're maybe a bit of an empath, but I think maybe not an empath, but you are sensitive to other people. And Spirit's saying something about backup plans that maybe you don't have any, right? I think that's the message here, is that you had this one course plotted, and it's like, that's the only one. We didn't make a backup plan. And I think you didn't make a backup plan, not because you forgot, but because you don't need it. Because you're confident that this is going to work, that this is the only plan. There is no backup plan. There's no plan B. There is no safety net. This is what I'm going to do in my life. This is what's happening, and we're going to make it work. So with the Five of Wands here, sometimes this is like your willingness to fight for something. And sometimes we have to fight and show our strength by not showing our strength, right? This card, as you can see, is Saturn in Leo. So it's almost like let's restrain our power a little bit, because that's real strength, self-control. We don't need to hit the gas. If you're worried that things are going too slow, it doesn't mean, oh, I better speed up. I better put my pedal to the metal. No, you're staying consistent because you say, this is going to work. I am in control of myself. I am powerful. This is going to happen. It's not going to happen if you start speeding. If you get nervous, if you get kind of flustered and you hit the gas more, your car's going to go out of control, right? So the Hierophant in the future position, this is, I think, the thing we're waiting for, okay? And this is a fixed earth energy. To me, this feels like a position of prominence. This could be the really good job you're waiting for. This could be the sort of graduation that you're waiting for. This is the leveling up to a level of mastery and expertise, okay? And so it's kind of like you're you're building the foundation, whether it's of skill, of knowledge, of experience, maybe it's a financial thing, but this is you building the foundation, and now this is that position of prominence for you. Okay? The position of prominence for you. Now, on the path of the Serpent, and of course, as we do these cards, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed, please do. These readings are free. We have, of course, the Universe card, which shows a delay. This is a card that says you need patience. That things have seemed like time is just being stretched, right? This is a card of time and space. It feels like every moment we're waiting, it seems like the moments, the hours, the days, the weeks are stretching out into years and months and, decades. It feels like time is really being dilated for you. And I think that it's, in part, this sort of time dilation feels attachment. It feels worry. It's influenced by our inability, really, to kind of let go and forget about something. It's kind of like you put your intentions out there, you do the very best work that you can do, and then you let it go. And that's the hardest thing to do. Of course, when, Spirit's telling you, don't think about something. Well, that's what you're going to think about. Don't think about your belly button. Now we're going to go through the rest of the day thinking about our belly buttons. It's not easy to say, okay, you know what? Work was work. I'm leaving it behind. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day without worries, without thinking back about it, right? I feel like Spirit's saying that you're a very funny person. You're the one always telling jokes, right? But I feel like you haven't laughed in a while. Yeah. I think that Spirit wants you to take time for others. Make other people laugh. Make yourself laugh again. Hang out with your friends. Do something silly, right? Invoke a little bit of that fool energy while we're waiting for the results of our work, the results of our efforts. Okay. This is a confirmation that, yes, you've been waiting for a long time, and I think your patience is getting quite thin. Especially with these cards, it's kind of like we're out here floating around in the vacuum of space, zero gravity, but we're flailing our arms anyway. That's kind of a natural thing, I think if we're suddenly out in the vacuum and zero gravity of space, it's going to be a natural instinct to try to swim somewhere, try to get some control over what we're doing. It's not working. We're burning up a lot of fuel. We're using up a lot of our oxygen, right? But moving our arms like we're swimming, we're not actually doing anything because there's nothing out there for us to push against. There's no water, there's no air, So all these movements are not helping anything. All we're doing is wearing ourselves out. We're not actually getting closer to our ship or whatever, right? And so that's kind of that's the reason for this need of detachment. There's nothing more you can do. You've already propelled yourself and put your intention out there, and it's moving through the vacuum of space in its own inertia. And any of your flailing around is not going to change its course, change the trajectory, or speed it up. So the best thing to do, I think, is to just sort of enjoy the ride. Make the best of what we're doing right now while we're waiting for the manifestation. We're waiting for it. And I feel like you know this already. I don't see any indication in the cards that you're worried about this. You know, I feel like you're trying to push your flailing fire energy down beneath. You're trying not to follow that sort of human instinct to start swimming in the vacuum of space, right? You're trying to keep that contained, and that's very smart. I don't feel that there is a despair. Sometimes we'll see some other swords cards or some other water cards, you know, maybe a 5 of cups or something, or a 7 or an 8 of cups or something like that, that would kind of feel like, uh-oh, spirit must have abandoned me. Or, uh-oh, maybe this isn't meant for me. This isn't happening. Uh-oh, what do I do, right? And we don't see that here. So I think you know that, you know what, this is just a ripening. There has to be time between planting the seed and the harvest. You know, you're not just going to give a 5-year-old the keys to the family car. It's not a no. You're not saying no to the kid. You're saying yes, but not yet. Yes, but you gotta prepare yourself more. There's other things that are happening. We sometimes expect things to happen right now. I did the work, I want the reward. Sometimes we have to wait. Sometimes Spirit is saying, no, there's a period of time that you must wait before we can reap the rewards of this. And Spirit doesn't owe us an explanation. We may not know why. I wonder if this is going to be the Wheel of Fortune, the mystery card. Yeah. The Prince of Wands, which is your fixed fire Leo superpower card. This is really about you sustaining a consistent effort over the course of time. You're not speeding up. You're not trying to slow down. You're not flailing your arms, right? You're consistently doing the work that is here. You're going through the motions. You're doing the routine. You're working on the foundations. You're doing the maintenance. You're doing everything right. And it may be feeling very habitual, very routine, very monotonous, very repetitive. Yeah. And whether this is a test for you to build up your patience, to build up your strength, or if Spirit is saying that there is a slight delay because by being in this waiting period, you're delaying or actually avoiding some other disaster. Does that make sense? I feel like if there is a slowdown that you're feeling right now, it's because there's something else going on ahead of you that you don't want to bump into. Okay? That's what I'm getting from Spirit right now, that the reason for this delay is to protect you from something that would be very unfortunate if we collided with it. Okay, the same way with air traffic controllers, right? They might say, okay, you're going to have to slow down a little bit or lower your elevation a little bit because there's some other planes up ahead. We're going to let them go by first, right? So we're trying to avoid any kind of trouble. And I think that's why Spirit has slowed things down a little bit for you. But you're expected to keep doing what you're doing, and things will happen. Now, the fear, the worry, the concern is the Magician card. And the fear really is that we're not the best magicians that we can be. The fear, the worry, the concern is that you're actually not manifesting your reality, right? And this is a fear that you're very aware of, and this is what you're trying to you're trying to contain this fear of yours. I like that we have the Fool and the Magician because that's the essence of the tarot, I've got to tell you. The Fool becomes the Magician. And the rest, as they say, is history. The Fool is learning how to be the very best magician that it can be in order to construct the reality that it is hoping for. I think your reality is one of interconnectedness, of big family. Like you want a big family, or you have a big family already, right? Spirit is saying that you want the connections with other people. You want to expand. You want a bigger family, I guess, right? So the Magician is the one that can cause change in the universe in conformity with our will. It's a magician. It's what I desire most is going to manifest. This is the one who is the master of the art and science of manifestation. Okay. And this is sort of the worry. The worry is that we've just been playing with toys. It's not really manifestation. It's not really magic. It's not real. It's not working, right? And so I think that you're trying to suspend that kind of disbelief. The disbelief that says, this is all nonsense. It's not working. I'm not doing anything. I'm not by doing this repetitive, routine, almost monotonous work that you're doing in whatever dimension of life. I don't know if this is work or school or something personal. We're trying to sort of contain that worry that we're ineffective, right? We're trying to stay confident that what I'm doing is working. It's just a delay for whatever reason. We're trying to kind of trust in spirit, And that's part of the fool energy. We're trying to trust, but the difficulty is saying, well, I'm supposed to be the magician. I'm supposed to be the conductor of this reality, right? And so it's kind of, it's difficult for the magician to accept a delay or an interference in their magic. You think of a magician who's on stage trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat, and it's like they reach in and nothing comes out. And it's like, no, there's a rabbit in there, and I'm pulling the rabbit out. But Spirit's saying, no, not yet. You got to wait 5 minutes. Why? The magician's like, no, it's my show. What are you talking about? The rabbit's there when I say it's there, right? The fool says, I don't care. Okay, I'll wait 5 minutes. I'll find something really fun to do. I'll count, I'll count the grains of sand while I wait for the 5 minutes for the rabbit to be here, But the magician doesn't want to do that. The magician says, no, it's my show. And I'm the one that's supposed to, I say when, right? So there's that conflict here that I think you're really trying to deal with. But the outcome is here. The Six of Cups this is beautiful. This is pleasure. This is the satisfaction of your desire. This is your wish being fulfilled. Okay? And I think this has a lot to do with community. This has a lot to do with your connection with other people. Maybe you're trying to be an artist or a performer, maybe a comic, maybe a stage magician. I don't know. But I feel like your life is going to be full of laughter once again. Maybe the laughter of children, the laughter of friends and family. I feel like you're going to have a lot of pets, a lot of plants, and a lot of people around you. And it's going to feel very much worth the wait. You know that, though. You know this is worth the wait, otherwise you wouldn't be waiting. Otherwise you would have gone the way of the fool long ago. You would have said, I'm going to go do something else. The fool doesn't like to wait. Okay? The magician doesn't like to wait. The fool at least can find something to do in the meantime. But that's just it. Maybe we need something right now to distract ourselves, because they're both of these are impatient. The magician thinks it's in charge, wants to run the show, says the rabbit's going to be in the hat when I say it's going to be in the hat. The fool, on the other hand, says, I don't care about the rabbit, but if there's nothing to do here, I got to go find something to do. I can't just stand around and do nothing. I at least have to, count the grains of sand or watch the grass grow or something. So it may be that your perfect plan right now is to distract yourself with something that'll take your mind off of the waiting, and what you desire is going to arrive. Okay? Let's look at the mystery card. I don't want this video to go too long. I'm trying to keep them under 30 minutes, but gosh, it's hard sometimes. I think this is either going to be the Empress. It's going to be maybe the Magician, maybe the High Priestess, maybe the Wheel of Fortune, maybe the Star. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. And here we are. It's a Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is the feeling that I think we're really trying to acknowledge is that, yeah, it's difficult waiting. It doesn't feel good. And we have to, I think this is something that you're really trying to deal with, is this idea of disappointment, this idea of what I desired isn't coming true. What I've willed isn't happening. The rabbit that I wanted in the hat is not there. The manifestation that I've intended, that I've wished for, that I've set the intention for and worked for is not happening. And so we're trying to not get upset about that. We're trying not to get sad and think, because once we get sad, guess what? Then the Prince of Wands is not so concerned, saying, well, it doesn't matter if I show up today, because I'm not getting what I want anyway. It's like the magician saying the rabbit's not in the hat. Well, then I guess the rest of the show can just be canceled. It doesn't matter. So we're trying not to let our emotions, our unpleasant emotions, sort of take control right now. And I think it's taking a lot of strength for you to say, no, it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. I just have to keep going. There's a delay, but Spirit knows what Spirit's doing, and I just have to keep at it. I just got to stick with it. That breakthrough is going to happen. The manifestation will happen. The rabbit will be there when it's meant to be there. Okay? Spirit's just helping me to avoid some disaster down the road by making me wait a little bit now. It's going to be worth the wait. Okay? So in other words, instead of crying over those 3 cups that don't have anything in them, just turn around and take those 2 cups that are there. 2 is better than 3, right? 1 is better than none. And so it's kind of like just saying, you know what, let's enjoy the time we have right now while we're waiting. I know we don't like to wait, but we have to make the best of it. We have to keep our spirits up, and I think the wait will be over very soon. The wait will be over as soon as you stop waiting. As soon as you take your mind off it and you detach from this, I think you're going to find, whoa, it's like, maybe it's a week, maybe it's 2 weeks, but it's going to happen like that. It's kind of like when a kid will shut their eyes and then suddenly it's morning time, you know? It's so funny when my daughter does that. She says, Dad, she said, I just closed my eyes and then suddenly it's morning time. And it's like, wow, you slept. I'm jealous. You slept good last night. Time will go by very quickly when we detach ourselves from what we're sort of worried about. You know, we're so worried about falling asleep that we're not going to fall asleep. Once we just sort of say, I don't care, we're going to fall asleep instantly. We're going to sleep like a baby. We're going to wake up refreshed, right? So I think this is a very important card to consider as well. Now we're going to do an extended reading. There's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Leo Tuesday and Saturday. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.